did pranayama or something and burst his heart and died. So she said, he did finish his work and he's enlightened, isn't he? I said, well, I don't know. But I said, I know somebody who would know, my guru in India, because he knows everything. I'll ask him, I'm going in the fall, I'll ask him, send me a picture of your son. So she sent me his high school graduation picture, which I put in my valise for going to India. 2 weeks after the mother came, his friend came, his brother actually came. And he said, I've got to tell you this. He said, I went to visit with a friend of mine. I went to visit my brother out in the cave. And I brought some acid, and we all took acid together, and we went swimming. And while we were swimming, he came over to hug me, and I went into a homophobic reaction, and I pushed him away. And he got upset, and he told us to leave, and that was the last time I saw him alive. So now you see what I had in my mind. He took acid, paranoid, went back, tried to do yoga, killed himself. That's not enlightenment. 6 months later, I'm in India. I've forgotten about the picture. It's in my stuff. One day, we're sitting with my guru, my spiritual teacher, and he's looking through everybody's bags and taking out their pictures and looking at them and kidding about them. And I remember this picture. So I go back to my room and I get the picture and I bring it out. I don't say a word about it. I haven't talked to anybody about it. And I place it on the thing he's sitting on in front of him. And he's talking, and finally he looks down. He looks at this high school graduation picture and he says to me, he's dead. I said, yep. He said, he died from your medicine, meaning the LSD. He died from your medicine. I said, see, I knew it. And Maharaj looked at me and said, nay. He heard the tone of my voice. And then Maharaji said, he is one with Christ and with me. He finished his work. He is watching over his mother. She need not fear. And he quoted word from this boy's diary. Right? Exactly, word for word. And he said he told her to go with God. He said he finished his work. And when he said that to me, all of my models about how you're supposed to die were completely undercut. And I realized that when somebody was ready, the hook came out from the side of the stage and they left. And our models of you're supposed to go out dancing were just our models. That it was a much deeper story than that. And my guru said, nobody dies a moment before their time, and nobody remains a moment after it. And in Tibet, where they have cultivated so much awareness free of identity with that which changes, there are lamas who are so conscious that there was one that sent out cards to everybody saying, I will be dying next Thursday at 2. Won't you come by for tea? People came, they had tea. He turned around 3 times, sat down, went into samadhi, and left his body. Now, I just want to play with the edge of the mystery with you. The mystery of Anita's death, the mystery of Mary's death, the mystery of the mystery. In Tibet, when they're giving you the instructions, they say, at the end, they say, as the earth element leaves, your body will feel heavy. As the water element leaves, you will feel dryness. As the fire element leaves, you may feel cold. As the air element leaves, your out-breath will be longer than your in-breath. The signs are now here. Don't get lost in the detail. Let your awareness go free. Imagine, oh, I'm thirsty. She's thirsty. Give her water. I'm cold. Instead of, the earth element. The water element. Just recognize what an adventure this transformation is. The appreciation of death and the spiritual journey after death is the prerequisite for living life joyfully now. Death does not have to be treated as an enemy for you to delight in life. Keeping death present in your consciousness as one of the greatest mysteries and as the moment of incredible transformation imbues this moment with added richness and energy that otherwise is used up in denial. I encourage you to make peace with death, to see it as the culminating adventure of this adventure called life. It is not an error, it is not a failure. It is taking off a tight shoe, which you have worn well. But those that find the way in the morning can gladly die in the evening, it is said in the mystical literature. So I encourage you to explore and find in your being that part of you that is on those other channels, so that when on channels 1 and 2 the World Turns series comes to its final chapters, you won't be caught in feeling loss, but rather the adventure. Because from where I'm sitting, life on this plane of reality, because I live in the world of reincarnation, of karma, of life on this plane is like being in the 4th grade. You took birth here because you had certain work to do that involves the suffering you do, the kinds of situations you found yourself in. This is your curriculum. It's not an error. Where you are now with all your neuroses and your problem, you're sitting in just the right place. Imagine that. Imagine that. Nobody made an error. And all that stuff in you of saying, if only I could be. No, this is it, including the if only. It's perfect. And then at the time you graduate and somebody says, oh, but he died so young. So if you graduate from 4th grade early, big deal, wonderful. Don't get so caught in worshiping life that you lose the balance, that realizing that the Spirit says, live life fully and richly as a partner with God, and at the same moment, don't be afraid of the next thing. Go towards it with openness and with love, and not with forbidding. The way that is understood in the morning, one can gladly die in the evening. Just for a moment, sit quietly now. Say sit quietly and everybody rustles. Isn't that far out? Everybody thinks, now I'll meditate.